And welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. We're actually going to introduce my guest here in a couple seconds, but before we do, I'm actually dedicating tonight's show to Steve Savino from AM 1220 WQUN, who's moving on to bigger and better things after 12 years with the station. And Steve's a friend of myself and the show, so we just want to wish Steve the best in his future endeavors, and hopefully he keeps in touch with us all. Thanks. So tonight's topic is, with me are Wendy and Denise from Sarah Incorporated and the Sarah Foundation. Ladies, welcome.
Thank you.
How is everybody?
Good.
Good.
How are you, Pete?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good. So Wendy, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're involved with the Sarah program.
Yes, I am.
You like it?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, I do. I'm involved with all the sports and the activities and the functions.
All right.
So,
And obviously you work.
yes.
Okay, what do you do?
I do Big Y,
All right.
which I do bagging, putting away stuff,
Okay.
and do carriages.
Very
and
nice.
baskets.
I'm sure that's got to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yes,
Except
it is.
in the winter because it's probably cold.
Oh, yes, it's
And
cold.
You don't want to freeze running around outside.
Right.
Because that's no fun.
No, no.
Denise, tell us a little bit about yourselves. Who is Denise from the Sarah Foundation?
Well, I'm the executive director of the Sarah Foundation,
Okay.
and we are the fundraising development office for the Sarah family of agencies. So we raise funds to support a lot of the programs and activities where the agencies don't receive state funding,
Okay.
which is a lot.
Is it?
Yeah.
Now, exactly, you said the Sarah Foundation is, you guys have more than one branch of Sarah?
Well, there's actually 4 different Sarah agencies.
Really?
Most people don't know that.
Well, tell us about it.
Well, Sarah Inc. has our Birth to 3 program. They have employment, they have day programs, and they support a lot of workers out in the community.
Okay.
Sarah Texas and Sarah Seneca have residential supports. So for folks who are in group homes or living independently, they support those individuals. The Sarah Foundation is the development office, fundraising office that supports the 3 Sarah agencies. And Wendy receives services from, I believe, Sarah Texas that helps her in her living arrangements, and also employment program support through Sarah Inc.
Okay. And there are obviously, and for my viewers and listeners that don't know, there's actually a Sarah office right behind us.
There's a Sarah Day program office across the street in Westbrook. Right. So many of the folks that receive services from Sarah, they're actually picked up in vans in the morning, and they're brought to the Westbrook Day program, and then they're there during the day. Some folks go out into the community. It just depends upon their abilities.
Okay. And actually, you and I have a mutual friend in common.
Jim Lamb.
Our friend, my friend Jim Lamb, who's a friend of the shows.
Yes,
I've had Jim on with me not long ago to talk about all the wonderful things that you guys do.
And Jim actually is the, he helps individuals that work for Sarah Inc. To find new jobs.
Yes. So what else do we want to tell our viewers and our listeners about the Sarah organization?
Well, I think maybe we could talk with how did you first get involved with Sarah a long time ago?
We can go over that.
Sure, please.
I've been with Special Olympics since I was 8 years old.
All right.
And I did individual stuff, skills, and I did a lot of stuff in Special Olympics.
Okay.
I met a lot of people, a lot of celebrities, and lots of people that I knew.
Okay.
So,
you like it?
yes, I did. Yes,
Are you
I
still
did.
active with Special Olympics?
Yes, I am.
Right.
Yep.
I was going to say they had they had an event not long ago.
Well, the Winter Games.
The Winter Games, that's
last
right.
Weekend,
I was going to say that was.
Yeah.
And many of our Sarah athletes were involved in the Winter Games.
Right.
It was wonderful.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Very nice.
So.
Now, what are some of the life skills that you've learned, Wendy, from being involved with Sarah in the program?
For work or for
Either.
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 I did some vocational stuff in school.
Okay.
And I did some in high school.
All right.
And I think I was a little bit like 10 or 11. I started, kindergarten, I did some skills.
All right.
And then up to my age, I did a lot of stuff in my years.
Right.
All right.
And didn't you, when you graduated from high school, you used to answer phones from Sarah?
Yes, I did.
Right, that was like your first job,
Yes,
right?
fun.
it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So you've been involved with Sarah for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
And Denise, how did you become, now, have you always been involved with Sarah, or did you?
Well, when my kids were in high school, I was looking for more employment type work. And I believe in 1999, I applied to Sarah as a special events coordinator.
Okay.
And I did special events, the galas and the golf tournaments and all those kinds of things. I actually have a son who is 31 who receives services from Sarah.
Okay.
He's on the autistic spectrum.
All right.
So it was a great way for me to work for an organization where I had a close, I was close to the cause.
Exactly, and you've
Yeah.
been with the organization for how long?
Well, since 1999, so I'm not too sure how long that is now, but, over 15 years.
I was going to say about 15,
Yeah.
16
Yeah,
years, and
yeah.
obviously you like what
I love the
you
job.
love what you do.
It's a wonderful job.
It
yeah,
is.
Yeah.
Because what people don't know is what areas does Sarah reach as far as like townwide? Is it all over the state? Is it
Well,
mostly the shoreline? Is it?
It's mostly shoreline.
Okay.
We do have actually a branch up in North Haven
Mm-hmm.
now. We do have some folks down in West Haven, the shoreline, and up through New London. But our early intervention program, which is individuals that go out to homes and help young children, they are almost a third of the state.
Wow.
But you don't see that because the therapists are going out into people's homes.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know that last time I had Jim Lamb on with me, we talked about this, but you guys also do the recycling program.
Right.
With as far as that goes.
Yeah, are you involved with that one?
No.
you're not
No,
involved with the
not.
recycling
Okay.
program.
No.
But the bins that are around town that you see,
Right.
there's Sarah Cruz that pick those cans of bottles up.
Right.
And they have a redemption center over in, I believe, East Haven.
I believe so.
And that's where they go and they deposit those, and then the funds come back to pay for the program.
Now, as far as we're going to stay with the process of funds for a few minutes. You guys do a couple times a year some fundraisers, right? And I believe you do one in the spring,
Right.
one in the summer.
Well, we have our Sarah Gala, which is going to be on May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. And then we have our Sarah Golf Classic, which is on August 1st at Clinton Country Club. So that'll be right down here. And those are our two big signature events that we have at Sarah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what else do we want to talk about for some time? What else do you want to tell our viewers about the organization?
Well, want to talk about mine or?
Yeah, I wanna talk about you.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. What about
We're
me?
not talking about me, so
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
Right, right.
What I do is I want to. Well, I was telling Denise that I want to reach out to people to get more volunteers in Special Olympics.
Okay.
But I don't know what the terms are, and I don't know what the people want out there to have their children do out there.
Okay.
So you want to help us reach out to get more people involved?
Do you want to do community
Yes.
outreach to get more
Right,
people
right,
involved with
right.
the?
For recreation,
Right.
different activities for people with
Okay.
special needs. Yeah. So Wendy actually, some people may not know this, but Wendy actually drives. So a lot of times when people talk about people with intellectual disabilities, they don't always know that many of our folks drive and are working in stores and getting services, and they're folks that you would never have any idea.
Right.
Yeah.
And I started working when I started working with Sarah Inc. and Sarah Tuxes And I got my own job when I was 16,
Yeah.
which it was on the highway in Madison, which was McDonald's.
Yeah.
That was my first job.
Yeah.
So I did that. Then I went on to sports. When I was 8 years old, I started.
Right.
Then I started, first of all, I started track and field.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I started swimming when I was, what did it say, 9? 9, I believe.
Yeah.
And then I did a whole bunch of stuff. You name it, basketball, volleyball, diving, swimming. And softball, volleyball,
Yeah.
anything, you name it. Snowshoeing, skiing, anything.
All the fun stuff.
Yes,
Exactly.
And I
Obviously, you liked what you were doing.
Yeah.
yes.
All right.
And Wendy, why don't you tell Pete what you do now for your job at the marketplace in
Okay.
Big Y?
All right. I work at the marketplace in
Yeah.
Guilford, Connecticut, and it's on the green. People just go in, have coffee. There's like gourmet stuff in there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
It's a wonderful place. You should try it.
I've heard
Oh, you
about it.
heard
I just
about
had I know exactly where it is. I just haven't had a chance to
Oh, okay.
come down yet, but
Yeah.
that is on the list.
Okay. Which I do is, like I said, I do at Big Y.
Nice.
I do the bagging, the carriages, the bottle area, the baskets,
Yeah.
and bag for people.
Yeah.
Nice. Obviously, you like it.
Yes, I do.
And obviously,
Don't.
every day isn't the same.
No.
Yeah.
Because you never know. You never know what you're
Yeah,
going to expect.
right.
You never know what to expect during the day.
Yep, yep. And anytime you go in there, you can always find Wendy.
Exactly.
I found you there last Friday. That's it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
And you probably weren't even looking.
No, I was looking for her.
Oh, okay. All right.
See? Hey,
People are looking for you.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I'm one of the best workers of there.
Absolutely.
There
yeah.
you
Yep.
go.
No.
And Denise, if people want more information on the Sarah Foundation, where should they go?
Well, we have a website,
All right.
sarahfoundation.org, and it has a lot of information on there about Sarah history,
Okay.
Sarah Foundation, a lot of our fundraising events, and there's a huge variety of other types of activities that we do to raise funds other than the special events.
Okay.
We have a car donation program.
All right.
So if anybody has a car that they want to donate,
donate, all right.
we are more than willing to pick it up.
Okay.
And we'll take care of, we pick it up, get rid of it, send you your letter, and it's done. We also have a thrift store in Brantford, Sarah's Cupboard.
I was going to say, we'll talk about that when we come back.
Okay,
Would you guys mind sticking around for another segment?
no
Okay.
problem, thank you.
We'll be right back.
Okay, thank you.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
You're doing great. We're gonna try this again, okay?
Okay.
Wheels, pedals, handlebar, brakes. Sit up straight, keep your weight in the center, keep your eyes on the road, hands on the grips, button the seat. If we feel ourselves falling, what do?
Just keep
pedaling.
pedaling.
Good girl. Now remember, it's all about balance and steering. Steer with your hands, steer with your body. Steer into the corners and you stay out of trouble. And the bell's your buddy, so go ahead and ding that. All right, you ready? Here we go. Pedal, honey, pedal. There you go, you're a bike rider.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. Sitting here with Wendy and Denise from the Sarah Foundation and Sarah Incorporated. Guys, welcome back. How are we?
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank
Good.
Good. So Denise, we were talking a little bit about Sarah during the first segment. I was wondering if we can pick up the conversation where we left off.
Okay, and I believe we were talking about our Sarah's Cupboard thrift store
Yes,
in
we were. That's
Brantford.
right, that's right.
Right. And you know, this Sarah's Cupboard thrift store started so many years ago. I mean, we're not really too sure how long ago. And it was all volunteers.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful little store in Branford on Meadow Street.
Yeah.
And it sells a wide variety of clothing and household, and now I understand they're selling comic books.
Really?
Yeah, and furniture and all kinds of wonderful things. And so it's a great place to go and shop if you like to do that, but it's also a great place to donate any kind of things that you don't want anymore. We'd be glad to have them at the thrift store.
Now, as far as what are some of the most commonly items that you guys want to have donated? Are
You
there
know,
anything specific that you guys are looking for?
The biggest seller is clothing. It's clothing. So like, when it gets to be the fall time, it's coats. And when it gets to be summertime, it's summer clothes.
Right.
It's, it's clothing. It's almost more than half of our sales there are from clothing.
Okay.
But it's also like fun little knick-knack things, Sometimes we get some great jewelry in there. And small pieces of furniture that you don't have to like put in a truck. Just like little end tables and lamps, things like that, that go into the furniture part.
All right.
Yeah.
Wendy, tell us a little bit about some of your experiences that you've learned being involved with the Sarah organization.
Well,
What about the travel club? What do you guys do with travel club?
we do fundraisers, we do functions, we do dances, we do parties, we do all sorts of good stuff, art classes, which I don't go to.
All right.
No, it's not your thing.
No.
But actually, it is art because we do. As a matter of fact, it's across the street. There's a what's it called? It's an art gallery,
Okay.
and I painted my first picture.
Nice. How'd you do?
Good,
Excellent.
Good.
because there was a woman painting and showing us how to paint,
Excellent.
and we made a picture.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So, and we do, well, when I go to the travel club, we all talk about like what trips we're gonna go on,
Yeah.
and what dancer we're gonna have, like the Cinco de Mayo, or Valentine's, or St. Patty's, or spring dance.
All right.
So we do all sorts of good stuff in the
Excellent.
travel club.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think you guys took a trip to Cocoa Keys.
Yes, we
right?
did. And
Up
then-
in Waterbury.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Never been, but I've heard it's
Yeah,
a
it's
lot
great
of fun.
time.
It's a fun.
That's
Yeah.
what I hear.
Yeah.
And they went to Hershey Park, which I didn't go to
Oh, nice.
yet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't go yet.
Yeah.
And it's all good stuff, and it, we do we just talk about stuff, like what's our next event, or in our next dance,
Nice.
Right.
and our next trip.
There you go. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Denise, what else would you like to?
Well, I think we were talking a little bit about the history of Sarah. And
Sure.
I don't know how many people really know how Sarah started, but in the late 50s,
Yeah.
there were no supports for people that had children with intellectual and other disabilities. I mean, a lot of what we have today, we take for granted. Special education, there was no special education, which just seems amazing to all of us. So in about 1957, there were 3 or 4 families that got together in a living room, and they passed around a coffee can. And the story is they each put $2 in the coffee can.
All right.
And from that original $2, Sarah started.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. And they were pioneer families that, they had no money themselves, but they had children that they needed supports and services for.
Okay.
So from there, Sarah eventually moved into schools. We started with a preschool, and then we started with elementary type schools, all run by volunteers, because at that time there was no state funding for any of the things that we have now. And then eventually we got involved with employment, and eventually we got state funding. So, it's a very touching story, because a lot of these folks had, they really needed to find a way to have their children supported so they could go to work every day. So, yeah, and that's how we end up with Sarah.
Now, what are some of the other? Well, I know we talked about this before the commercial break very briefly. So
Yeah.
let's pick up on this subject
Yeah.
again. Car donations.
Yes.
We talked about it briefly, but
Yeah.
let's pick up that conversation
Okay.
and talk about that in a little bit more detail.
Yeah, so if you have a car that is something that no longer runs, or you don't want to use it anymore, or you've bought a new car, you can call our office. You can talk to Beth. She's the one that handles that program.
Okay.
She'll take down some information from you about the car, and then after that, we forward it to our dealer, and he'll call you, and he'll arrange to pick up the car, and he'll tow it away. You don't have to drive it anywhere. You can just come and pick it up, and away it goes. So it's a great. Many years ago, we raised a lot more funds with car donations than we do now, because the tax laws have changed.
Right. Oh,
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Now, as far as again, you guys do 2 major fundraisers a year.
Yes.
One in the spring, one in the
In the summer.
summer.
Right.
And I believe one is the gala.
When is the Sarah Gala?
Tell us a little bit about the gala.
Well, the gala, the gala is like a Sarah, I don't know if I should say love fest, but sometimes it's like that. Because it's an opportunity for so many people that haven't seen each other for until the next year to all get together and see each other once again.
Right.
And, it's always the first beginning of May. It's almost always a sellout. Yeah, and it's got like live auction, silent auction, dinner, dancing. I think we're having a mariachi band this year. Yeah.
I think that's the rumor I heard. I think the rumor that I
Yeah.
heard was it's going to be more of a Cinco de Mayo based
Yeah.
party, because I believe it's either right before or right after Cinco de Mayo.
It is on Cinco de Mayo.
It is. It's okay. It's on. All right. It's on Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I was going to say the date's in my schedule,
Yeah,
but
so-
I haven't.
yeah,
I haven't looked that far yet.
Yeah,
And
so we'll
I
have
also-
margaritas and
All right.
Mexican food, and I think this year we're going to have an after party too.
Okay.
So when we're done with all the fundraising activities, you can stay
The
and have a
party
good
continues.
time
The
and
party's gonna
party and continue.
The party's going to continue, which
Yeah.
I'm okay with.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
I'm okay with.
yeah,
Now, I believe you guys also have a golf tournament too at one of my favorite places.
Clinton Country Club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And actually, we have a wonderful volunteer coordinator, Brian McGlone, who's heading that up. A lot of people know Brian. He's a really nice guy. Actually, he has a budget this year to raise more than we've ever raised before.
Really?
And so far, the sponsorship is coming in really,
Is it?
really well.
Is it?
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah.
And if people want more information on the golf tournament or the gala, they can get that on the website
It's
as well?
all on the website,
It's all on the site?
absolutely.
Okay, and I
Yeah.
believe
Yeah.
the guys in the booth are popping up the website right now, which I see over my shoulder, and that's a good
Yeah.
thing. And what types of other information can people find on the website?
Well, there's a lot of organizations in the area that have what's called outside events. So they would have a fundraising event for Sarah. And all of those, as many of those as we can, we will post on our website.
Okay.
So there's Shift, which is a cycling event that's being held in May in Guilford by Shift Cycling.
Yep.
We're also one of the folks that are receiving funds from the Cheshire Marathon. So you can also look there for the Cheshire Marathon, and you can sign up and run if you like to do that, or you can walk, whatever it is that you like to do. And we also have an event in the summer called the Summer Breeze, which is a cycling ride that's put on by the Madison Jaycees.
Very nice.
Yeah,
And
so all of those types of activities are all on our website.
very nice. And the cycling event is probably what month?
July.
July? Okay.
July.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously, if people want to get all these dates, they can go to the website,
Yeah.
and I'm sure the website is updated constantly with all your
Yep. Yep.
all the fun stuff going on with the organization.
Yeah.
Now, if I didn't know who Denise was from the Sarah Foundation, and I said to you, if I ran into you on the street, Denise, why should I support the Sarah Foundation? What would you tell me?
Well, because Sarah supports so many wonderful folks in your community that really need your help. And I think that the fundraising and the activities that we do can really help change people's lives. And I think all of us think that that is a very important thing to do.
Now, I guess one thing that we haven't talked about tonight, and we've got a few more minutes left, is you guys are funded how?
Well, the Sarah agencies are all funded through the government.
Okay.
So the majority of their programs and services receive state and federal funds.
Okay.
So the Sarah Foundation, we raise funds for the other activities that, that are not funded by the state.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of restrictions on those federal and state funds as to what those funds can be used for at the agencies.
Really?
So things like recreation and trips and going to visit family and sometimes remodeling bathrooms and kitchens and all those things at group homes. Many times those things we have to raise the funds for, or else they're not able to have them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we've got a little bit of time left before we say goodnight. So Wendy, what else would you like to tell our viewers and our listeners?
I like to tell the viewers that I just want to say thank you for letting me be in this world and being this person that I wanted to be.
All right. And Denise, we had a little bit of time left. What would you like to tell our viewers and our listeners before we say goodnight?
Well, you know, sometimes there's little stories that we can kind of talk about that sometimes I call them like a mission moment. You know, and sometimes there's great big gifts that make a difference, but sometimes there's small gifts. And we just had this wonderful gift actually from the Madison Foundation for some sensory equipment for our Madison in Action site. And it was not a lot of money, but they were able to purchase some small items that the participants were able to play with during the afternoon. And one of these was a basketball hoop where you could throw the basketball in. And one of the participants who actually really enjoyed using that one, his name was Steven. The program manager sent us a photo of it. And, you know, it just touched your heart that we were able to work with Madison Foundation and raise funds to really help Stephen and all the participants there.
That's it for goodnight. That's it for tonight. We've run out of time, so I'm going to thank you guys for stopping by, and I'm going to say goodnight. So have a good evening, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, thank you again.
Thank you.